King Charles, where are you? Your people are shouting, crying, begging for help, and yet you stand silent while this country is torn apart. What good is a crown if it doesn't defend the nation? What good is a king if he will not stand with his people? This land is not theirs to destroy. It belongs to the people, the workers, the mothers, the fathers, the veterans, the builders, the farmers. We carried this island through wars, through hardship, through centuries of struggle, and we will not watch it be handed away by weak men in suits. Your duty is not to them, Charles. It is to us, to Britain, to the very soul of this nation. If you will not rise, if you will not speak, then you will show the people that the crown has become nothing but decoration. So hear us now. Your people demand action. We demand a king who protects his country. Britain is calling, Charles. Answer, or history will remember your silence.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Unite the Kingdom to Restore Britain. Now, over the next few shows, I will be simultaneously streaming on what West Ham channel? That West Ham channel. So for those of you that are currently logged in, you're all from that West Ham channel. What I'd really implore you to do, if you're interested in some of the stuff that I've been talking about on that West Ham channel, which is clearly outside of West Ham and football, it's to do with politics, it's to do with religion, it's to do with everything that's currently going on within our wonderful, great Britain, and how we're under attack currently. Now, if this is something that you're interested in, on the new channel, which the banner's there, you can see it, Unite the Kingdom, which is very much to do with the Tommy Robinson, to big up Tommy Robinson, to Restore Britain. Restore Britain obviously being the party that is starting to make waves. Hello to the people in chat, by the way. It's my beautiful mate Stuart Surrey, love you brother. So I won't be doing this for much longer on that West Ham channel. I will start moving everything over. Please subscribe, and please, this ain't just for West Ham fans, this is for all English British people that really care about what's going on. Now, on the new channel, I'm going to read the introduction video for tonight's first edition. But before I do, I wanted to give this disclaimer, this backstory, because of course, as I said, you're watching it on that West Ham channel as well as being live on the new channel. Moving forward, I'm going to be putting a lot of effort into, I mean, I've been sharing little snippets of different bits of information that I know some of you found interesting, because a lot of you have actually, more people have reached out about this stuff to me privately, which I love, than they have about West Ham, in fairness. So in the short time that I've been doing videos where, like I'm going to do tonight, where I am going to talk about politics and why all of a sudden I am becoming political, because topic 2, so topic 1 will always be about what's going on with our country and the parties that want our country to be and remain and restored to our fucking country. I'll only be talking about them. That's your Restore Britain, Advance UK and UKIP. I'll be showing lots of really good information and little video snippets that a lot of you may not see because they tend to be quite hidden. And then topic 2, the reason I'm building this new channel, that I'm going to be talking about politics and pitching my case for why we need to start voting, is because of this satanic cult, which is known as Islam, that is spreading like a cancer, not just through our country, through the world. And obviously, I'm pretty confident you're all aware of what's going on with the most current war that's happening. People are dying. Why? Because of Islam. That is why. And then the last topic, every show on Unite the Kingdom to Restore to Restore Britain will always be politics, Islam, and then an element of what I do professionally, my coaching practice. And some of you, even now that are in the chat now, I know that you're aware of that. So it's going to be a very meaningful concept. So that being said, I'm now going to introduce you to it. So again, hello everyone and welcome to Unite the Kingdom to Restore Britain. For those that don't know, my name is Jay. Some of you know me as Jay the Soul Coach. I am a working class East London lad who not just believes deeply, knows deeply in the strength, fairness and spirit of our wonderful country. This new channel exists for one simple reason: to bring together proud British people of every background, colour and walk of life who believe that Britain works best when we remember who we are, what we stand for, and the values that built our wonderful nation. Each episode we'll look at three things. First, British politics and current affairs, especially news around movements that believe Britain can be restored to the strong, fair country it has always been. I've already named the three parties for me that I'll be talking about, which will be Restore Britain, Advance UK and UKIP. I really do hope, I pray to whatever God there is, the God of good, that those three parties can come together, because that's what we need. And second topic each time will be educational and discussion around a particular type of religion and culture that is slowly enforcing its way into our wonderful country, and that is Islam. And just how this ideology is actually trying to shape a modern Britain. And thirdly, we'll finish every show with something positive, which is like my Jay the Soul Coach segment, if you like, where I'll talk about subjects that often will be from a recent client that I'm working with. I coach soldiers, I coach people with terminal cancer, I've coached kids. Am I coaching any kids at the minute? No, I'm about to start coaching a kid, a little elite tennis player as well, Evo, shout out to you. But my point is, I'm very lucky in what I do professionally. I get to sit and listen to people from all walks of life share what it is to be human, which is to be anxious at times, to feel that our mental health is a bit unstable at times, to feel depressed at times, to feel not enough at times. So that will also be part of the Unite the Kingdom to Restore Britain concept of each show as well. And they're going to be punchy. I'm not going to hold back. I've held back a lot on that West Ham channel, and I've shared some stuff on this channel. That's what it's going to be about. And I really encourage people to get their head around the Islam stuff, because you might think at this point, I don't care about Islam, I don't believe in Islam. It's coming to your doorstep, not by invitation either, by force. Is coming big time. So it's important that if we're going to be put on the back foot by an ideology, even if you don't believe in it, it's like any other fight that you've ever got into. And I'm not talking about you physically having to go out and fight. Any battle, any test, what do you have to do to pass that test? You need to know what the fuck you're up against. So the Islamic element to the channel is again a very, very powerful part, I believe. And I already know it's touching some people in the right way, because again, because of the responses I've been getting from people are saying, Jay, do you know what, I'm so glad you're talking about this stuff, because I'm hearing this stuff and I don't know what to do, I don't know where to turn, I don't know where to go. And that'll be another thing I'll be sharing with you in different areas, places you can meet up. And again, I emphasize, this is not about being aggressive. This is definitely not about being racist. This is definitely not about being divisive in any way. In fact, that's what we are currently up against massively. And a lot of the people that are actually firing racist views at us Our other white people, English white people, often with blue hair and all sorts of funky things going on because they're part of these new woke movements, which again, what makes me laugh, I don't want to digress too much because I need to go through the first episode just to read all that out. But what I would say is this, because I had someone clearly very woke comment on my last video and say something along the lines of, I'm misinformed, ill-educational history, and just because I've got a black mate, don't give me a free pass. Do you know what I say to you? I'm really comfortable around black people. I'm really comfortable around Pakistani people, Bangladeshi, Somalian, Polish, Iranian, Greek. I've got mates from all necks of the wood. I don't need a free pass. I'm perfectly comfortable being around my black people and taking the piss out of them, as they are perfectly comfortable being around me, like they have their whole lives taking the piss out of me. So you can stick your free pass where the sun don't shine. We don't need free passes. The problem is in the UK is we've given out too many fucking free passes and you lot are taking the piss. So now we've got to stop these free passes and we've got to reclaim what is ours. So to address that. So this is the first show on the new channel. Now, again, I know, like I said, you're watching this, the ones that are here at the minute, you'll be watching it on that West Ham channel. Just disclaimer again to remind you that it's only going to be for a couple of shows and then I'm going to be going back fully onto the other channel. So please subscribe. There's 10 of you in at least watching at the minute. Fucking please subscribe to that channel, all right? And share it because there's going to be a lot of good stuff going on there. Right, so for the purpose of episode 1, why this channel even exists. So, all right, people, again, welcome to the very first episode of my new channel, Unite the Kingdom to Restore Britain. Now, if you found this video, it's probably because something in your gut has been telling you the same thing it's been telling me. That Britain, Great Britain, the one we all grew up believing in, the one we were proud of, we've lost sight of a bit. And I'm not saying that as a doom and gloom headline. I'm saying it like a man who loves our country. Something I've only really realized over these last couple of years because of the attack our country and our people have been under. So today is going to be a proper foundation episode. One you can send to people and say, watch this. This explains what this channel is all about. So first things first, who am I? My name's Jay. A lot of you, as I said before, you know me, Jay the Soul Coach, because outside of politics and culture, my actual life's work is helping people help themselves. I don't like to say I help people help themselves, because that's what true self-help is. I've coached people from all walks of life, different backgrounds, different faiths, different struggles. And I've sat with people in their darkest times, including their last few breaths, and helped them to an extent, help themselves find who they are again. And I'm also really proud, itchy schnoz, of being a working class East End boy, West Ham fan. And I'm telling you now, my upbringing is a massive part of why I'm doing this channel, because I grew up in an England where, yes, of course, we had our issues. Of course we did, but we also had something special. We had community, humor. We had grit. We had the idea that no matter who you were, you could graft, you could belong, and you could build a life here. And I grew up around people of every culture you can think of. East London, Forest Gate, Boiling Pot. There was everything. Every colour, creed, religion. And that made it really fruitful and wholesome as a childhood for me. And I'm going to say something that might surprise people, that diversity, when it's done properly, it's enrichment of not only our life individually, of our culture. How many of you grew up with different coloured mates that went round for dinner, experienced different cultures, the way their parents acted, the way they behaved, and took different things from those different experiences? They help shape our views. I've spoken before about going to the first time around my mate Bodrul Ali. 4 brothers, Bodrul, Zubair, Nazrul and Noor. Bodrul was in my class. First time going round their house. Their mum and dad didn't speak a word of English, but I felt welcomed. And when we sat on the floor and there was like a plastic sheet that was put on the floor, and I'm thinking, and everyone's taking their shoes off and they're crossing their legs, sitting down, then the plates come out and then the food comes out, thinking, what's going on here? Then there's no knives and forks. And I remember looking at Bodrul and him just sort of smiling at me and saying, no, you eat with your hands. I remember thinking, wow, I've told this story many times, literally, how wrong have my mum and dad got it. What? Sit on the floor, eat with your hands, curry? Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And that for me is one of them memories in my life that was a catalyst moment of change, something new, a new experience. And that was thanks to this wonderful Pakistani family that I love to bits to this day. Just my memories of being around their house, those friendships with those people, they were, as far as I was concerned, that they are my people. They are British people. That's what Britain did when it was at its best. Britain had confidence. Britain could welcome people into our shores and still remain Britain. And this is the key point. Britain worked because we had a strong British centre, a strong set of values, a shared understanding of what it meant to be British. And when a country forgets its centre, it slowly starts to fall apart, which is what we're seeing now. And people could come here, bring their flavour, bring their food, bring their music, bring their humour, but still respect the foundation of the house. And that's how it's meant to be. So this channel isn't about hating anyone. It's not about scapegoating. It's not about demonizing ordinary people. This channel is about something much more important, which is identity, values, truth, and unity. So let me tell you clearly why this channel exists. I believe we need to unite the kingdom. And when I say unite the kingdom, I mean this. All proud British people of any colour, any background, any faith, who love being British, who respect the culture of this land, who value fairness, law, decency, freedom, community. We need to unite, because what's happened is we've become divided. We've got working people struggling, young people confused, communities feeling ignored, people scared to even speak, and politics that often feels like it's more about protecting careers than protecting the country. Remember, the government is here to protect us. That's its one job, to protect its people. And if you're watching this, you might feel the same as how I feel about these things. That Britain's lost confidence in its British self, lost pride in its British self, lost the ability to say, this is who we are. And if you want to live here, you're welcome, but you're joining our family. And there's rules. Really fair, accommodating, actually goes back to Christianity rules. Disclaimer, I'm not religious, but I did grow up in a Christian, constitutionally Christian country, England. And as a parent now, looking at the rules I grew up with, I think they're pretty fair rules that I impart onto my kids. So as it says, this is who we are. And if you want to be here in our house, you're welcome, because you're joining our family. That's not racist. That is not hateful. That is normal. Every nation on earth has the right to say, this is our culture. These are our values. This is our way of life. If you come in peace, you're welcome, but respect our home. That is what keeps a nation healthy. So when I say restore Britain, I mean restore what made Britain Britain in the first place. Not restore it into some fantasy land that never was, not pretend history was perfect, not deny the mistakes or the struggles, but restore the British core. Fairness, freedom, law and order on our streets, compassion, responsibility, unity, pride, cultural confidence. Because a nation that loses confidence in itself becomes easy to manipulate. And I don't want that for my country, and I don't want that for my kids or your kids. Now, I want to be really clear because people love to twist things, and that's already happened on 2 of my recent videos. This channel is not an anti-immigrant channel. Britain has always had immigration, but Britain had immigration with an understanding that you come here, you join Britain, you respect the laws, you respect the culture, you integrate and assimilate. You don't create parallel communities that reject the country that welcomed you. And this channel is also not about harassing Muslims or any other group either. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in having honest adult conversations in a country that started acting like truth is offensive. Truth isn't offensive. Truth is necessary. And here's the reality. If something is becoming more prominent in Britain, culturally, politically, socially, then British people have a right to understand it. And that's not hate. That's responsibility. That is educating yourself. That is preparing yourself for battle when battle is needed. Now, here's the structure of every show. And this is what every episode will follow. There'll be 3 main topics. Topic 1. British politics and breaking news. This first part will always focus on British politics, but not for politics' sake. We're talking about what affects the people, what affects our communities, what affects the identity of this country. And I'm going to pay particular attention to news and developments involving 3 political movements or parties that I believe in different ways speak to the idea of restoring Britain. And that is Advance UK, UKIP, and Restore Britain. Now, to be clear, I am 100% for any of those 3, 2 of them combined, all 3 combined, individually, taking over our political system in the UK for one main reason, to be extremely clear: to stop illegal migrants coming into our country illegally and costing £5 million per day to house them in these hotels or these private contracts, to feed them, their private healthcare that they get on site. To stop that, number 1. And then, because once we haven't got to waste our energy as a people, as a country, worrying about what is coming in, we put a stop to that. We then can concentrate on what has already got in, that in essence, in layman's, from a logical perspective, doesn't want to be here. Because if you're marching around, covering your face up, saying these are our streets, screaming to a God that promotes you killing in the name of jihad, Christians and Jews and anything non-Islamic in our country, then you're not welcome. You shouldn't be here. You clearly don't like us. So why would you want to stay here? So we want you out as well. That is why every show I will be talking about specifically them 3 parties. Now, if any of these 3 parties do what Nigel Farage done with reform and start turning around and saying, oh, actually, We can't stop the illegals coming in. We can't get rid of people, mass migration. Specifically, remember, very clear with the words. Yeah? People that don't like our rules, don't want to be part of our family, don't respect the fact that this is actually a Christian of heritage country, that don't want us to fly our flag because they find it offensive. Yeah, the list could go on and on and on, but there's just a few. See you later. If any of these start saying no to that, and it could be if all three of them changed their stance, then politically I'd have nothing to talk about anymore, because that is the only reason I'm going to be presenting a case every show to why we need to get out and vote. Now, on the last show, I said something which I don't see how it can be misconstrued, to be honest. Not that I need to say this, but this is the first show on a new channel, so I do need to say this. My kids are mixed race. They're half English, half Middle Eastern. They're not white kids. They're not white English kids. Okay, they're mixed race. My missus is a second generation, wasn't a legal immigrant. Funny enough, because of Islam, her and her family made the decision, which was such a risky decision, and they nearly died, to be smuggled out when the Islamic regime took over Iran. My missus went on with thousands and thousands of other Iranians that were normal, non-religious people, that were just normal people like anyone else that was used to doing normal life things, were all of a sudden told, no, everything's going to change in your life. You've got to change what you wear, to change where you can be. Women, you can't do this anymore. You can't do that anymore. Yet they decided, no, not for us. So they ended up in Sweden. So my family that I love more than anything in the world, my immediate family, okay, is a mix of different cultures. So I know I'm not racist. I know I'm not. I don't need to justify it to anyone. That is my one time of saying it. On the last show, I said, and I fucking stand on it, in the United Kingdom, we've got the numbers. And do you know who's got the most numbers? People that look like me. People that are ethnically white English. This is something recently that some fucking do-gooders, woke people, and I'm really disappointed to say this, but Ben Habib jumped on this, and so did that Tony from UKIP. I've got it, no, Nick Patoni, whatever, from UKIP. That a couple of things that were said by not Rupert Lowe, who heads up Restore, but a couple of people in his party, which he has completely corrected in regards to what the stance is. Okay? It's not about being white and English and being supreme. As far as I'm concerned, that is such a stupid way to think from any perspective. It's unjustifiable. It's just thick. It's retarded. I said this last time. It's moronic. My point was simple. At the moment, you've got lots of brown, black, yellow, pink, all sorts of different coloured, non-white, ethnically English people that are standing up for us and our country and our beliefs. And they're showing their gratitude. The amount of Sikh people that are out there with their Union Jack turbans showing so much gratitude and respect for our English and British culture. And actually calling on, saying to white people, come on, you're not racist. Like, you need to fucking stand up. So when I said on the last show, to be clear, if people that looked like me, and if you're white, ethnically English, like you, if we just fucking vote, this stops. When I say this stops, I mean this surge of illegal people that are coming in illegally to our country, costing us 5 million a day, 5 million a day, right? To take care of what is currently already here, that are graping our kids, that are decimating our memorial places of our veterans, that are being put in schools with our kids, without the parents of these kids being known. Look at all this. This is stuff that's going on. It stops that. And what else it stops is all of this aggressive 1,000-strong march of Islam that is all over in different main cities, where it's not peaceful. They're not celebrating in peace. It's aggressive. It's oppressive. Don't believe me? Look at the current war that we've got going on in Iran. Say it again. That is all because of Islam. So when I'm saying, as white, ethnically English people, we have all the numbers we need for you to just get off your ass. And if you give a fuck, if you don't give a fuck, you can say, Jay, I don't give a fuck. Fuck off, Jay. Don't tell me what to do. That's not a problem. But if you do give a fuck, and like someone messaged me, Jay, I don't know what to do, vote. Fucking vote. Because we need one of these three. Or if a new fucking party came in, the truth is the only reason these three for me are worth even looking at is because of that one thing. We are under attack. An army is being built within our country, and it gets bigger every fucking day from all the ones that are still coming in to our country that are all part of this gang. It's a gang mentality. Islam is one big fuck off culty gang of, at its core, a message that we're here to take over. In fact, that's one of their slogans on, you'll find there's something called Dawah, D-A-W-A-H. Dawah, if you type it into YouTube, you'll find all of these young British-born Muslims that are literally, I've shown videos that are on screen, kill all Christians and Jews, annihilate everyone, alhamdulillah, praying, chanting for us to be killed. And one of their slogans is on their different podcasts, and they all laugh when they say it. We're not here to take part, we're here to take over. So that's why, for me, on every one of the shows moving forward, it is really important to see that there is a link between our political stand currently, where we stand, and religion. And for most of us English, it's not our religion. It's not a religion that we were taught growing up. It's nothing to do with our culture. In fact, at its very core, it wants to demolish our culture, completely annihilate our culture for an oppressive, ancient, old, moronic ideology, way of living, where women are instantly second-class citizens, where underage girls under the age of 12, 10, 9, 6 can be married. And by their law, I've read some of their stuff. That's not for today's show. That will be where we're going. But let's just put it this way. An ideology that promotes paedophilia. A spade is a spade. Their prophet, Muhammad, Momo the pedo, 56 years old or 53 years old, married Aisha when she was 6. Consummated the marriage when she was 9. None of this is in debate. They don't want to talk about this stuff because they know it's paedophilia, but that's their book. Right. So now look, you might agree with me, you might not, and that's fine. But what I'm going to be doing is what I'm going to do is break down what's being said, what they stand for, what the headlines are, and whether it's just talk or real action. This is in regards to the political parties. And I'll also always bring it back to the main questions. Does this restore Britain to a fair, strong, confident country? Because at the base of this new channel for me, that is when I was trying to work out what is it that I care about. Well, in Britain at the minute, it's just unfucking fair what's going on. Okay? At the minute, we're weak. Where's the British strength? At the minute, we've lost our confidence. We've lost our identity. Like I said, we've been fear-mongered into thinking we can't talk, especially if you look like me, white, because you're racist. I'm racist. No, I'm not. You can be any color and be a complete canut. I'm going to try not to swear as much on this new channel because I want to try and reach. I want to be able. I want it to be something that kids can watch. There's nothing I'm going to be sharing. Nothing that I'm going to be sharing that I haven't shared with my kids, so that they're aware of what it is. Because the social media The kids these days are they're not just getting groomed, unfortunately, in these roadblocks and these other things by sexual predators, but also by Islam. There's a massive push to groom our kids into Islam as well. Right, so on that note, topic 2 will always be Islam. And this is the part some people might feel nervous about, but I'm not going to dance around it. Islam is becoming more prominent in Britain. That's not an opinion. That's simply observable reality in many towns and cities. So British people deserve to understand what Islam teaches, what its core doctrines are, what its history is, and how it differs from Christianity, and how those differences can play out in culture, law, and everyday life. Let me say this carefully. This is not about attacking individuals. This is about ideas, belief systems, and how belief systems shape societies, if you allow them to. Because if you don't understand something, you can't respond wisely to it. You either become fearful and reactive or naive and passive. I want British people to become educated, confident, and grounded. And yes, we will speak about Christianity, because whether people like it or not, Britain has a deep Christian constitutional heritage, not just churches, not just hymns, but our values, our legal tradition, our moral framework, our sense of forgiveness, and our sense of fairness. You don't have to be a church-going Christian to recognize that Christianity shaped Britain. So topic 2 is education. And the goal is to achieve clarity. And as I said, each show at the end, every episode, we end on something that will be uplifting, because I don't want this channel to become another anger machine. Parts of it will make you angry. At the minute, I'm angry. I'm having to keep my ego in check. I'm having to put into practice my 4 pillars, because every day I can't help but watch what's going on. And anger, when guided and directed carefully, can be useful. It's when it spills over and it becomes out of control, well, then that's it. It becomes exactly that, out of control. Once we lose control, which is something that's already happening anyway, we are losing control. So we must keep ourselves under control. Because I don't want this channel, like I said, to be somewhere. And if anyone comes on and makes any racial comment, you're blocked. That is the one thing you can say what you want about me, as long as people don't go at each other in chat and no one says anything about someone's color. Yeah, because if you say anything, I don't care who you are. Well, I know you. If you say something about a color, you are instantly blocked. Don't talk to me, because it ain't about color. Right. So, and just to be clear, some of the things that I will be speaking about from my professional perspective will be like men's mental health, women's mental health. I've run women's groups. In fact, I've coached more women than I have men in my life. We'll be looking at things like anxiety, depression, purpose, discipline, relationships, self-respect, and identity. Because here's my belief. If we want to restore Britain, we also need to restore the British person. Strong people build strong communities. Strong communities build a strong nation. And so this show is politics, religion, and culture. But at its core, it's about human strength. So to bring you to the heart of it, this channel is for anyone who loves Britain. When I say loves Britain, again, I mean loves what Britain is meant to stand for. Fairness, decency, humour, hard work, freedom, safety, respect, and a shared identity. If you're British and you're black and you love Britain, you're welcome here. If you're British and you're Asian and you love Britain, you're welcome here. If you're British and you're white and you love Britain, you're welcome here. If you're Christian, Muslim, Jewish, Sikh, Hindu, atheist, it doesn't matter. I will be opening up every single time a StreamYard link. And if Muslims, you want to come on and you want to debate, because on the Muslim section, I am going to be putting up Quran verses that are extremely confusing. Apparently, they're not when we read them. But if you talk to a Muslim, and I've debated many Muslims, they've always got a story about why it was okay for a 50-odd-year-old man to consummate a marriage, to have sex with a 9-year-old. Why it's okay for Muslim men to have 4 wives, and as if that's not enough, to also, as it states in the Quranic verse, be allowed whatever their right hand possesses. Slave girls, white girls. The whole issue with the grooming gang inquiry and everything, and the situation with that in the UK, and the fact that it was Pakistani Muslim men which made up the absolute bulk of that scandal, is because in their book they can claim by Sharia law, which is a religious God's law, and if Islam becomes the if the UK becomes an Islamic state, this comes into play under Sharia law, by the way, is they can, whatever their right hand possess, your 10, 12, 14-year-old white girl that they get high on drugs and everything else and then start passing around, it's because they're seen as kafar. In God's eyes, it's not one of the 4 wives, it's not adultery, because they're scum. Our nation will not survive if we don't bring back our foundations. It's the truth. It's not, this ain't fear mongering, like it is that bad. If we don't defend our foundation respectfully, firmly, and intelligently, we will lose it. It's not been lost yet. So the goal of this channel is simple: unite the kingdom to restore Britain. So this first episode has literally just been me laying out what's to come. And I'll end this first episode with something I want you to remember, because it applies to you and it applies to our nation. You are not powerless. You're not stuck. You are not just one person. One person who becomes brave becomes contagious. One person who speaks truth gives other permission to speak truth. One person who chooses discipline inspires others to also choose discipline. So remember this: you are the you, you are the only you there ever was, is, and will be. That's a fact. Only you can be the best version of you, and you are enough. If this message resonates, please subscribe, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and drop a comment below, because this is episode 1. From here, we're going to build. Unite the kingdom to restore Britain. Please, please subscribe to the new channel if this is something you're interested in, and bring others, because every single show, I promise you, will be informative, will be educational, will be meaningful, and at the end, every time, you will close off from listening to that show feeling a little bit better about yourself and about what it is that you stand for. So people, thank you for everyone that's been involved in chat as well. Please subscribe, like I said, to the new channel. I will thank you to, I'll quickly go through chat. Hello Frog, hello Paul, hello West Ham Bros, hello Stu. British and proud. One question: do you think Muslims will put this country before Islam? Because right, British proud 7. This is interesting, right? So one question: do you think Muslims will put this country before Islam? They can't. They can't. That's the point. That's why there should not be one Islamist in power in any sort of council, political, governmental position, because by their declaration to Allah, everything else comes second. So they can't put the country before. They don't want. It's not about them being here because they like our country. We've got shit weather. Yeah, the English food is pretty shit, in fairness, as well. Yeah. What they see here is, number one, is what they've done with the welfare. Like, they're cleaning up. They are cleaning up our dole system, our universal credit. They are, honestly, they've played it they've played us like a fiddle, this whole system. It's been going on for years, But it's about taking over. So they don't give a shit about our country, because in their book, again, we'll get onto this in the next shows as well, and I'll read you hadiths and Quranic verses where they clearly tell you what they think of us. Lots of reform. Yeah, reform's a joke. Reform. Nigel Fassad is a fucking sellout. That man, absolute sellout. Blakey's put, they're not here to integrate. Islam is about domination and conquering. The soft leftist mentality enables our downfall. We're proper in the shit. We are. She had totally real reasons to flee and get safe. Oh, talking about my missus. Thanks, mate. Yeah, she did. Chris has put, we can talk about it. We can understand about it, but the time will come when we will have to fight to get our country back. That ballot box alone won't save this country. But you know what, Chris? It changes the whole demographic in that ballot box. The only reason we're in this situation is because we've not been using the fucking ballot boxes. So whether it comes to eventually the fight, then it comes to the fight. But right now, let's take just one baby step, which is to fucking vote. Don't cost us nothing. Yet if we're going to sit, piss and moan about the state of our country, again, I say it, if just us ethnically white English people got up and fucking voted without the thousands of proud black, brown, yellow, any other color, proud British people, just us, we take back the political system. And I'm not saying it will be perfect, but it fucking stops the boats. And say what you want about Rupert Lowe people, and everyone's trying. And what are they doing with Rupert Lowe now? Racism. They're calling him neo-nationalist. He wants neo-national. No, we don't. No, we fucking don't. Thank God Tommy Robinson stuck it on him to make it clear. Because if he did, I wouldn't be voting. I wouldn't be talking about it. I wouldn't have named this channel Restore Britain either. I had to wait to be clear. I waited literally. I don't know if you've seen the back and forth from Tommy Robinson with Rupert Lowe. It's literally, it was on Twitter, I think. Yeah, it was on Twitter. Thank God he confirms. No. It's nothing to do with neo-nationalism. That is not what it's about. It's not about that at all. What he was saying, which he's fucking right in saying, is there is such a thing as white, ethnically white English. And his example to give credence to that statement is, if you went to Japan, if I went to Japan and I lived there for 15 years and I assimilated and I got a Japanese passport, could I ever be ethnically Japanese? How fucking stupid is that question? As if there's not an ethnic Japanese man and woman. It's stupid, isn't it? So yeah. So my point is, the reason Restore smashing it, they're over 100,000. They was over 100,000 a couple of days ago. Like that I really think that is Rupert Lowe's going to be our chance at this. And the good thing is, he is, and I'm sorry, I'm fully behind. In fact, I'm not sorry, I'm fully behind him. He is absolutely, get Islam the fuck out. Get it out. Yeah, and rightly so. Good on you, Jay. I'm doing what you're doing. It's not easy subjects to deal with. Even more so if you're a patriot like me and many others. Yeah, it is difficult, mate. It is. And that's what this platform is going to be about. So again, people, please, it's there. Unite the Kingdom. Right, can I even go and check if any of you have subscribed yet? Let me have a look. Any of you fuckers subscribe? Any of you fuckers? Have you subscribed, people? Let me have a look. My channel. Oh, 5 subscribers. Hooray! Some of you have. I was on 1 earlier. I'm up to 5. I'm famous. Yeah, please subscribe, people. 28th of March. Yeah, DFLA. I saw that with Liam Tufts. That's worth people. And I haven't watched the interview yet, but people need to watch that. Chris Brown, spot on. All we do is talk. How many more children are we willing to sacrifice? Absolutely. Restore Britain. Rupert Lowe said Tommy Robinson was right all along. Yeah, he was. Right, people, that is the end of the first Unite the Kingdom to Restore Britain show. And this would have been streamed, like I said, put link on chat, Jay. What, for the channel? All right, hold on. Is that what you mean? If it's the link for the channel, all you need to do is paste this in. That's what you need to do. That's the channel there. Look, Unite the Kingdom. That's me. Yes, mate. Perfect. Yeah, that's me. So and yeah, like I said, I'm gonna be, if you've found interesting or been frustrated by some of the stuff that I've put up so far, I've been holding back because it's still a West Ham channel. Oh, there you go. What a beautiful message. Right, I'm going to put that one up in a second. On this channel, it's fucking all out. It's all out. And again, when it comes to the cancer, it's not about race. It's about the cancer of Islam. Will subscribe. Thank you, British Proud, and please send other people that way as well. Again, I'm going to let everyone can have opinions here. Tommy Robinson is Israel first. Fuck the rat. That's your opinion, yeah, which you're entitled to. But do you know what? I definitely know, because you don't know that. You do not know that. You might have an opinion on that, but you know what I do know about Tommy Robinson is that he's given a voice to over 1,500 underage young English girls that were forgotten, downtrodden on by our fucking system, horrifically raped in some cases by animals and videoed and passed around like pieces of meat. Yeah, he's done that. So in fairness, and again, I say this to me as much as I'm saying it to you, what have you done? I know I'm trying to do more every day, every single day, but what have you done? Because if you give a fuck, it's all right casting judgments on other people, but what have you done? If you don't give a fuck, it's fair enough. And you can cast your judgments. I'm saying not to. But all I'm saying is, yeah, there's always a balance. At some point, you're going to have to face yourself. And that's one thing that the older I get, I need to be able to look in the mirror and actually say, do you know what? I gave it a good go, because life is short. That's one thing I've learned. Doing what I do professionally, for most of you that don't know, the bulk of my client base to this day is people with terminal. No, it's not. That's a lie. It's the British Army is a bigger client base. But other than the British Army, is people with terminal cancer. Over the last 11 years, I've seen many people pass. I've listened to people at the end of their life. I've been privileged enough on more than one occasion to be the last person that someone has spoken to with their last breath before they've passed. And I can tell you that experience is more educating than anything else that I've ever done in my life. And I've studied stuff by profession. I've got a few things under my belt that I'm proud of, but none of it touches being human and being able to learn about myself more. And I thank the people that I've worked with at the end of their lives. They've taught me the biggest lessons. And trust me, you're not going to want to get to the end and think, I could have. Now's the time. If you care, now's the fucking time. Tommy putting his life in it. Yeah, he's done that. Fair play. Yeah, no, thank you, Chirac. That is an honest rebuttal. Like I said, it's not about having a go at people here. Everyone can have an opinion, but I appreciate that you was honest with that. That means a lot. Thank you very much. I didn't steal cash from Peter Lynch Death Collection. Urban Scoop did. I don't know what that's referring to. I must have missed that one. I can't think of it. My brain's farted anyway. But anyway, people, thank you genuinely. And most importantly, as always, just remember how wonderful you are as a human being and that you deserve to be happy. And happiness is always one choice away. So have a fantastic, fantastic day. Hi, mate. My mate Dean Neal paid for Pete's funeral. Oh, amazing. I completely agree with what you said. Thank you, Jane. Chirac, thanks for being here, bruv. And please, like I said, moving forward, I will be putting up links each time. If someone wants to come in, if someone wants to challenge me, have a debate, as long as you can debate like a human being and not just ad hom all the time, you can actually hold a discussion. I'm here to listen, because at the minute, to be completely honest, Islam has got a massive target on its back. And I've said this previously, if you're a Muslim and you're saying, no, Jay, I'm peaceful. I don't want Sharia law in your country. I fly your Union Jack fucking flag. Then you know what? Please fucking stand up and talk about it. Talk about it. Because there are some. I've been playing, and again, once we get going with this other channel, I'll be putting up plenty of Muslims, Muslim women in hijabs, proud to be British and proud of their flag, saying to the others, yous don't need to fuck off. So it's not about race, okay? This is about an ideology. And if it's your ideology and I've got it wrong, then when these shows kick off as of the next show, which will be tomorrow night, and I open up the phone line, call in, because I promise you, I will only use what's in your book. That's all I'll use. I'm not going to compare it to anything else. I'm just going to ask you questions about, well, what does he mean by that? Do you believe in that? What does he mean by that? Do you believe in that? That's what it's going to be about. People, have a fantastic evening. Okay, mate, take care. See you soon. Never Islam and never Israel. Britain first, Britain. Yeah, love that. When you be on next? Yeah, tomorrow. I'm going to build a schedule on this because I'm going all in on this one. I really am. So it's not about football. Like I said, for the first couple of shows, I will keep the West Ham channel, simultaneously streaming it, but I want to cut it off. I just want to do the United Kingdom to Restore Britain channel, and I want it to be an engaging, informative. I'll make sure I get on a load of good videos, keep you updated with everything that's going on with Restore Britain, with Advance UK, and with UKIP. And as I said, as soon as one of them does what Nigel Fassad done with Reform and says, actually, no, we're going to keep Islam in, they can fucking do one. And if it comes that they all end up flip-flopping, this is why I've sort of got me fingers really crossed out of the three on Restore. Number one, because of the numbers and the seismic launch is fucking taken off and trajectory-wise. And because Rupert Lowe is standing there going, no, fuck Islam. Yous can all fuck off. And to be clear, when we're saying that about specifically the ones that are jumping up and down in our streets, saying whose streets, our streets, kill the Jews, we're going to rape the daughters, annihilate every Christian. In fact, just to be clear, no, I'm keeping the footy channel, Chris. Just to be clear, let me share one video. I agree, Paul. I agree. I'm going to share one video and then I'm going to call it a day. You have to bear with me. Oh, mate, I tell you what, I've got some great video. Well, like I said, I'll be putting a lot of these on the other channel. I don't know. I watch them. It's like fucking self-sabotage. It just winds me the fuck up. But anyway, it's got to be done. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, fuck me. Where is it? Let me go to my WhatsApp. Here we go. All right. So. You say, Jay, this ain't in my mosque. This ain't going on in my mosque, Jay. All right. Then call in and fucking condemn it. Because the problem is at the minute, the biggest problem Islam have got at the minute, you Muslims that are peaceful and that are assimilated and do feel British and Muslim. The biggest problem is you've got at the minute is you've got these cunts, these Islamists that are giving you an awful fucking name. And if none of you are going to stand up and say, because I promise you, if I see white people that are racist having a go at anyone else because of the color of their skin, then I condemn them. I think they're white scum for doing it. And I would openly fucking say it as well. I wouldn't give a shit. I'd be really I'd feel proud of myself for doing it. And I feel that so that these people who are being abused, no, look, that don't represent me, mate. Like, I love you. Like, I love you, you're black, I love you if you're brown, I love you if you're Somalian, if you're Muslim, if you're Pakistani, if you're Chinese, if you're African. Like, I've got nothing but love, genuine love for people. And so many of us English white people feel the same. We're good people. So my point is, when I play this, if you're a fucking Muslim, so I shouldn't have said like that, but it gets my nose, gets my back up. If you're a Muslim and you're peaceful and what you're about to see doesn't represent you, then tomorrow call in, I'll play it again and fucking condemn it and tell us why.
The word, and with a decree of yours, you will annihilate them. Ya Rahman Rahimin, you annihilated. And you destroyed the likes of Ad and Thamud and Fir'aun. These are the Fir'auns and the Ad and Thamud of today. Ya Rahman Rahimin, we ask you, Ya Allah, destroy them. Destroy them, Allah. Take them off the surface of this earth. Ya Rahman Rahimin, Ya Akram al-Akramin.
على القوم الكافرين اللهم انصر الإسلام وأعز المسلمين وأذل الشرك والمشركين اللهم انصر عبادك الموحدين اللهم انصرهم على القوم المجرم أحصهم عددا اللهم اقتلهم بددا
Slay them one by one. They're not one of them.
يا ربنا إنهم
Oh Allah.
يجاهدون في سبيلك
Waging jihad.
اللهم انهم يجاهدون في سبيلك اللهم انصرهم يا رب العالمين اللهم انصرهم على اعدائهم يا رب العالمين اللهم عليك باليهود والنصارى اللهم عليك باليهود واعوانهم فانهم لا يعجزونك اللهم احصهم عددا اللهم احصهم عددا واقتلهم بددا ولا تغادر منهم احدا يا رب العالمين
عليك بالصليبيين اللهم عليك بهم فإنهم لا يعجزونك ما عليهم يا رب العالمين اللهم نصرك الذي وعدت على القوم الكافرين
Allahumma destroy all the enemies of Islam. Allahumma destroy all the enemies of Islam. May Allah destroy them completely and show in them, show in us the great signs of Allah in their utter destruction, annihilation, humiliation.
عليك بالأمريكان ومن والاهم اللهم أحصهم عددا واقتلهم بددا ولا تغادر منهم أحدا
يا رب اللهم اقتلهم بددا
اللهم
احصهم عددا واقتلهم بددا ولا تغادر منهم أحدا يا
Look at them. So, to be clear, that's what I'm saying, to get the fuck out. Have a great day, people. Thanks for listening. Thank you for subscribing. Please look out for notifications for the channel. I'm going to try and get a schedule going. I've got to work it around my professional job, obviously. But I want this I'm going to build this, and I'm going to make sure, from my perspective, when I said earlier about look at yourself, what are you doing? This is something I feel that I can do. This is something that I'm going to share. I'm going to try as much as possible not to get angry and rant about it. I'm just going to share it from a factual basis so that people can be empowered and know that you're not on your own, that most importantly, that you're a fucking good human being that needs to be proud of themselves and stand up for your fucking self, because we're here. We're all in this together now. And the best part of being a human being is communing together, building communities. So let's build this as a community. Please be part of it. Share it. Please, if any of you's got good here's another thing. If any of you have got anything that I can use, please message it to me. Where's my number? Cancel that. Where's my number? It's at the bottom, isn't it? There it is. Bosh. There's my number. So I'll leave it up for a minute. Please, if you just want to connect But please, if you've got anything that I can use to be showing on these channels, on these shows, ping it in there to that message. If you've got an audio message, you've got a video of yourself that you want to play, anything at all, this is really important for me, that people feel that they can have a voice on Unite the Kingdom to Restore Britain. Have a fantastic day or evening now. And whenever you're watching this, it could be morning, afternoon or evening. Like and subscribe and share. And here's a message to our King.
King Charles, where are you? Your people are shouting, crying, begging for help. And yet you stand silent while this country is torn apart. What good is a crown if it doesn't defend the nation? What good is a king if he will not stand with his people? This land is not theirs to destroy. It belongs to the people, the workers, the mothers, the fathers, the veterans, the builders, the farmers. We carried this island through wars, through hardship, through centuries of struggle, and we will not watch it be handed away by weak men in suits. Your duty is not to them, Charles. It is to us, to Britain, to the very soul of this nation. If you will not rise, if you will not speak, then you will show the people that the crown has become nothing but decoration. So hear us now. Your people demand action. We demand a king who protects his country. Britain is calling, Charles. Answer, or history will remember your silence.